Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And Jacques Nioba and the Springbok management team have just named their side to take on Argentina in the first of the two final tests of the Rugby Championship for the Springboks. Rugby Championship very much on the line. A win this weekend will put the Boks firmly in contention, but really need to get a bonus point win potentially, depending on what will happen this weekend, or this week, Thursday rather, in the first Bledisloe Cup match between Australia and New Zealand. Springboks currently, 1 point sort of off the pace. A bonus point win is really what they need to try and really get them into contention next week. You get 2 bonus point victories, for example, against Argentina, which is a very big ask, by the way. Nobody's saying it's going to be easy at all. But you then can't do anything more than that. And you have to rely on Australia or New Zealand falling short or taking points of each other to really go get your hands on the trophy. And I think from a BOK fan perspective, 2 wins, you'll look back at the Rugby Championship and think, yeah, it was relatively a success. To have won 4 out of 6 games, to win in Australia for the first time in a long time. Probably a bit frustrated about that second New Zealand game, even the first Australia game. Well, I think we really were in for that. But I think generally, I think it'll be a very successful rugby championship campaign if we can get those the jobs done across these 2 games. Before we look at the side, please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Now, this is the team. It is an unchanged starting 15, so very much going continuity. But a couple of changes on the bench, quite a few exciting changes on the bench. I'm quite excited to see how it all sort of plays out. So for the pack, Stephen Kitshoff, Malcolm Marx remain in their starting positions, no longer being used off the bench at the moment. They join France Moherbe. Ibn Etzebeth and Louis Iaga will continue to pack down in the second row. Sia Khaleesi is joined by Franco Mostert and Jasper Wiese, who retain their spots. I thought Franco Mostert was absolutely immense against Australia, and I personally think that I think that 7 jersey is his at the moment. I think Pierre-Steph du Toit is going to have to come off the bench or try and prove his worth over the next few months to try and get it off him, because I think that Franco Mostert is playing better rugby at the moment. So it's quite a nice position to be in, to have those 2 sort of really pushing, and then a big name off the bench who's also going to try and put his name forward for that sort of jersey as well. You then got Jaden Henderson, Damian Willemse, the halfback combination staying. Obviously, Alton Young, he's been sent home. I think he was expected to start this weekend and probably would have started against next week in Durban. So all of a sudden, Damian Willemse is going to have an extended run at 10, where he's going to get at least 3 matches, depending on what happens with Andre Part at the end of the year tour. So hopefully he's been practicing his place kicking a little bit, because it was a bit off against Australia. But he's going to have to try and do it again at 10. And I like what I saw on parts of it. I still prefer him at inside centre, but let's see what he can do in the next 2 games, see if he can really start to grow in that role. The 2 wings, Bakazoloma Pimpy is joined by teenage sensation Canan Moodie, who will be desperate to try and add to his first try in 1 game and make it 2 tries in 2 games. And I think also for him, playing in a very hostile Argentinian environment, it's going to be a very big occasion for the youngster. But again, so it doesn't look very flustered, looks very comfortable at this level. Villaroo also retained in the side. I thought that he, sparks a lot of attack. 2 tries this last game is definitely proving his worth from an attacking perspective. And in the midfield, Damon Dealendi is part with Jesse Creel. We saw moments from Dealendi in the last test where we sort of can understand why. Well, we see moments where we can see the old Dealendi, but we need to see a bit more from it on a go-forward point of view. Jesse Creel, I think, didn't have much opportunity with ball in hand last test, but it was very defensively, it was very solid. And hopefully we see something like that and a bit more with him in ball in hand. Off the bench, Dion Fourie is retained at hooker, despite Bongi Manambi having flown over and joining the Springboks there. Oxenchair, Trevor Nyakani, the 2 prop replacements. You then got Albert Lowe, who gets an opportunity this weekend. He'll get some time off the bench. Really interested to see how he goes. Has been used very well off the bench early in his test career. And as I said, he'll be somebody that wants to really push the number 7 jersey and try and give the likes of Franco Mostert, Pierre-Steph du Toit a lot of competition. You then got Quagga Smith, who is undroppable from that bench at the moment. A lot of people are saying that he could even be worth a start, but he's bringing so much to the table when he comes off the bench in the last stages of the game. Very much nailed down his spot in the Springbok 23. Faf de Klerk comes in for Kobus Reinach, an opportunity for him to try and get back into form, try and put a bit of pressure back onto Jaden Hendrickse after Hendrickse has basically replaced him as the starting scrum half. And it's interesting because a year ago, I don't think too many people would have said that the Springboks, that Faf de Klerk was an expendable player for the Boks, but not been in the best of form, and needs to start coming out and showing us exactly what made him such a good scrum half and what made him one of the best scrum halves in the world at one stage. You then got Andre Esterhuizen, who's a very interesting selection. He gets an opportunity this weekend, adds a little bit to the midfield. Obviously, there's quite a lot of versatility between him and then France Steyn, who covers 10. Between Villaroo, France, Andre Esterhuizen, and Jesse Creel, between those sort of 4 players, even Canan Moodie, they can cover 12, 13, 14, 15, and 10. So Mapimpi, the only sort of recognized number 11 in the side. But apart from that, a lot of versatility across 23. You probably expect to see ESTERHUIZEN coming in at inside center. But then Dale Lindy can, for example, shift to the wing, can stay in the centers and stuff. So very interesting side, very interesting to see which players really grab the opportunities. Let me know what you think of the side down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.